Hello, this is Sharif Abdullah, and over the years I've written a number of books, and what I'd like to do is share with you one that I'm very excited about and one that I hope that you get excited about. Over the years I've written, my first book was The Power of One, Authentic Leadership in Turbulent Times. This little book has been in continuous print for the last 25 years, and people have called it revolutionary, insightful, and have had other things to say about it. My largest book, and the one that won the Book of the Year award in the year that it came out, is Creating a World That Works for All. And Creating a World That Works for All is about the concept of inclusivity and how we can get to a new society through the practice of inclusivity. My third book, Seven Seeds for a New Society, is about how do we actually practice inclusivity, and how do we use that practice of inclusivity to get us to where we actually want to get to, as opposed to the default of where we will wind up if we're not careful. But the last book is the one that's been 3 years in the making, and is my first book of fiction, although it may not really be fiction. My title for it is The Chronicles of the Upheavals. And in this book, it's set 100 years in our future. And in the future, it makes the assumption that humanity makes it. We make it through all the free-floating crap that is about to hit us, our ecological disasters, our financial disasters, our social, cultural disasters, and the most important one of all, the disaster of our consciousness, that we go blindly, mindlessly closer and closer to the abyss. If you pay any attention to speculative fiction, or what's called science fiction, you know that most of the writers are writing about dystopia and writing about apocalypse and writing about zombies taking over the streets, etc. And I set out to write something very, very different. I set out to write a book that does not ignore the problems. There's no whitewashing of the problems. But it also gives us a possible way out and a possible hopeful future, a way of looking at the world that gives us a new set of eyes in terms of looking at the world. So, again, it's set out 100 years in the future, so it's the year 2125. Humanity makes it. Not all of us make it, so there are billions of people that died in this time period that's called the upheavals. But enough of us make it, and we transform our behavior, our systems and structures, to create a whole new way of interacting with each other. So these folks out in the future want to write a history, and that history is our history that we're living right now. The book starts with in the year 2020. With a young boy who's been living on the streets for years. He gets picked up by people from this group called an Awakening Center. And the people in the Awakening Center are practicing inclusivity and practicing a new society. And through his eyes, he learns that we learn the values of the Awakening Center and the values of how we can get to a world that actually works for all beings. How we can trigger a whole new way that we can interact and relate to each other. He has several experiences through the book, and these are peppered with chronicles of what's happening in that time, of Congress continuing to be brain dead, people who are polluting continuing to pollute, and all the while a small group of people preparing for the times that are called the upheavals, and preparing us for a whole new way of interacting with each other. Each one of the chapters gives us a value system, gives us a new way of looking at the world, and gives us some practical advice on how to live our lives a different way. On the one hand, this is speculative fiction, it's science fiction. On another way, in another direction, this is a model for how we can actually live our future, and a model for us thinking about how challenging our future is going to be, how challenging the next couple of decades are going to be for all of us, and a way to get out of and a way to get around that. I'm asking you to support this crowdfunding campaign by buying the book. This book is the first book in a series of 3. And the first book covers 20 years, the second book covers about 30 years, and then the third book will get us all the way to the year 2125 and a new way of human beings being on this planet. Your support, your early support for the book will help me to get to writing the second and third books. Chronicles of the Upheavals have been interesting in that I've been writing it as I fit in time between consulting work, speaking work, the other kinds of things that Commonwealth Institute has been doing. What I need to do is be able to focus and devote some time to the writing of books 2 and 3, and devote some time to the research behind how to write the next couple of books. Your work, your assistance in that will help me to get across the mark, so that this book, The Chronicles of the Upheavals, is not an orphan, but really is part of a series that gets us to a transformed world, and part of the series that will get us to the world that actually works for all beings. As you can see, there are several different levels that you can participate. $7 or $20 get you the book. And then there are other levels for those of you who want to be more involved and those of you who want to be more supportive. And I'm hoping that you can do that. I'm hoping that you find this to be interesting. I hope that you find it, as other readers have, that you find it compelling and you're not able to put it down. And I hope that you see that this can be a way for us to get to a new future. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to working with you as books 2 and 3 become a reality.